So today we have another super exciting topic, and no further ado, let's just dive in. So today we have something extra exciting for you guys. So we're gonna talk about how to create your own presets. So once you're already comfortable with Lightroom, you have been playing around with Lightroom a lot and you have developed, and then you feel like, okay, it's time to upgrade. So this is another way how you can upgrade. It's like maybe you have already been using some of your other favorite photographer presets, but now you want to develop your own presets. You want to develop your own style. So here's how you do it, and here's how you create your own presets. And especially with presets, you will have a consistent style. So this is something super exciting. So let's just jump in now. So again, you might have been driving on this road, like Lightroom basic editing. You have been switching from contrast, switching around with contrast and everything, like the basic settings. But what you really want to do is you want to go off the road and you want to start using Lightroom presets, and especially when you have your own custom presets, custom style. And it doesn't mean that you're gonna use filters. Like Lightroom is different. Like even if you use your own presets, you still need to do some tweaking, but it's like for a workflow wise, it's a shortcut and it saves you a lot of times, because otherwise quite often, especially when you have been editing a while, you know how it is. Like at some point you start to use quite a lot of similar settings, and even Lightroom like knows this one. And that's why I would highly recommend you to drive from this. Instead of driving on this road, you take a shortcut and you have the Lightroom presets, your own Lightroom presets. So let's talk about Lightroom presets and when to use it. So there are multiple edits of Lightroom that you should carry out on almost every photo. So that's why you need to save time by creating presets that perform these jobs automatically upon import. That way you don't have to do the editing later, and you don't have to spend your lifetime in Lightroom. So in other words, I highly recommend you to apply presets to pretty much every photo you take, and raw photos in general always need some editing to look good. So to sum it up, three words. Let's do 3 words: workflow and consistent style. And for this one, you need it. And even, for example, I personally have some of my clients who are like always my clients. I have even like their custom made presets that I use, since I work with them a lot. So how to prepare useful Lightroom presets. And now we're gonna go step by step. Like obviously I have my own presets collection, but in general, I think like everyone who has their presets or has like is working photography full time and big time, then they really need to develop their own style as well. It doesn't mean that you should stop using the other presets. Like definitely use them. You can see how other photographers are using their settings, like how are they really editing. So here's like the key in general. So step 1, set your profile in the basic panel. So you may find it like super helpful to make a virtual copy of the photo first, and you don't undo any edits you have already made. So again, like do this one first. Prepare the set your profiles in the basic panel and pick a profile. Think of this as a starting point or as a base layer, and on top of which you'll make all your edits. So click to open the profile and fly out menu, and then you have the option for color, landscape, portrait, standard, vivid, blah 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 blah. So what that means is that basically for food I would use like color. Like unless you want to have like different landscape ones or portrait ones, then you have them separately. But for food I personally use color. Step 3, apply profile corrections and remove chromatic aberration. So here, as you already know, like I think like you know this one, but we're gonna still walk this one through to make sure that you're not gonna miss any of the steps. So most shots in general suffer slight issue due to lens aberration. So it all depends on your lens, and which is why Lightroom comes with profiles for a huge number of lenses and lens correction panel, and check enable lens corrections. So there you can already have like basically Lightroom knows everything, even if he's not watching. Okay, this wasn't funny, but anyways, there are like you're gonna enable those profile corrections. Like don't overthink it, just click that enable profile corrections, and then like don't think about it anymore, and just go to the step 4. And step 4 is that make sure that the basic panel is ready to go. So basically you have to have everything to 0, and then white balance as shot, because in the end of the day, like you don't want to mess around with white balance, you want to have it as shot. And then later on when you apply the presets, then you need to do some tweaking, maybe like fix the white balance, but it doesn't have to be in the basic preset anyways. The next thing you can do is that you can go and start creating a preset in Lightroom. So obviously you put on your settings, whatever you want on your basic Lightroom preset, and then once the settings are all there, then it's time actually to make a Lightroom presets, and the process is extremely easy. You just press the plus button and presets, then you click the create presets option, and then you select you just select create presets. The next step is there you can determine which settings should be part of your presets. So especially when you develop the presets window, then you can check all the boxes. What do you need? What do you don't need? What are important? What are not important? In many cases, you usually select most of it. And then you give the presets your name and select the folder to save it. And there, you just hit the create button, and there you have it. So in recap, I would say just don't go overboard with the presets, because here obviously there are like a lot of settings. What you can have is that you can have your basic preset that you always use, and this one has the basic settings, and then you might have like some crazy presets for a peach, for a gray background, for a dark background, for a white background. And by backgrounds, I personally like a little bit like tweaked around with these ones. For black and white, for example, completely different, but definitely have your basic and don't go crazy with these ones, because in the end of the day you just need a base, and then you're it doesn't mean it's not like a filter you just put on top on Instagram and then you run. No, presets are not like this. Presets are magic. You put the presets on, you save time on editing, and then you go and start tweaking. What do you feel like editing more and less, and work on it in general.
Okay, that worked too.
And
Whee!
then,
Got it.
so recap is that
Again somewhere.
apply those
Okay,
adjustments in
so
different areas, and then you can work on this one like this. For watching, I hope this was useful, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.